Hi, Helen. Thank you very much for your precious satsangs. I deeply appreciate the depth of them. I have a maybe unusual question for you. I wonder how an awakened one would answer a political question like, should we support Ukraine with weapons? I do believe that awakened people should not be afraid to show their opinion about worldly matters. Am I wrong? With much love, Mandeep.
Yeah, people often ask questions like this, and it's difficult for me to give a finite or definite answer because from that awakened place, we never know what we're going to say. Just as right now, you don't know what you're going to say next. You might have a thought that you do. You might have thought it through. Our mind does this process of running through a conversation as if it could be anything other than spontaneous. So my words, my actions, thoughts are completely spontaneous, and I have no capacity to control those. They're just arising straight out of that stillness that I am. So I can't really say what I would or wouldn't do in any particular situation. Perhaps an awakened being might be less inclined to comment on worldly matters, as you said, because um, they have a perhaps deeper understanding of the root of those issues, which is always within our own consciousness. There's only one being here. And while it believes in various body minds that it's not safe, it will experience fear and perhaps a need to control. And sometimes that control is just of our own lives. We try to control certain aspects of our life to keep it the same so we feel safer. And we really believe that we're doing actions as a separate being to do that. And here we also see this belief that we are choosing what to say or even whether to say anything or not. As amazing as it sounds, that really isn't the case for any of us. An awakened being has just seen that more clearly. So the awakened being is probably more likely to really look at a situation in the world like that and actually take it into their own investigation. Anything that's going on in an outside way is a reflection of what's going on inside my own consciousness as the infinite self. So if something is going on in political arena, or there's a war going on, or there's something going on that's making a lot of news, my response would most likely be to, and I'm happy to discuss anything, but I'm most interested in looking at the beliefs that are pervading the human consciousness, that those experiences are a reflection of. And as we come to understand that deeper, the world is not separate from our own self. There is no world out there and me in here. We could say me is the infinite self, the unmanifest aspect, and the world, the universe, is the manifest. The same one thing appearing two different ways, like two sides of a coin. One side is the invisible self, the other side is the infinite manifestation of the universe. And neither of them can exist without the other. Well, the unmanifest can exist on its own, but they are really one and the same. And it's probably why you don't see so many awakened beings speaking up. It's not because of lack of interest. There's a deep interest in the welfare of all beings, and the evolution of human consciousness overall is all that I'm really here for, so to speak. So having an opinion in a worldly sense, it's not so interesting anymore quite often, because trying to talk to people who are completely unaware of who they really are yet um, isn't really going to solve anything. Just as trying to fix our own problems from a place of separation thinking hasn't really fixed it for us either. I'm more interested in helping as many body-mind vehicles as I can to see the truth. And if we get enough, and it's not just this teaching, there are so many teachings and teachers around the world right now doing the same thing. With enough body-mind vehicles letting the truth shine through them, there wouldn't be any political problems or wars or anything. It would be a very, very different world indeed. So I could muster up an opinion if someone really wanted me to have one, or if it would. Sometimes that kind of thing happens. If I'm with people who are not on the path, then they might be surprised that I don't have an opinion. Something spontaneously might come out. This is what I think and feel about it. But it would just be happening just as spontaneously as my hand moving now. I'm not planning that. It's just doing it. These words coming out. I'm not planning when to inhale and exhale or blink my eyes. It's all just happening spontaneously in that way. So I hope that gives you an insight. It's not an avoidance or anything. It's just what's the deepest and most effective place that we can work on the world's problems. And it really isn't in the world of duality. It's in the place where the sense of duality arises from, working on that level. Of course, you know, those people who do work in those situations where the human consciousness really does need help, and where we see things going on that we'd rather not happen. You know, nothing but love and respect for those beings who literally get in there and make the difference. Awakened beings will make just as much difference, but in a very different way. So I hope that helps you to find some resolution to it, but please do write back in if you need more clarity on that.